Awesome.
Okay, folks, tonight we are going to share the one thing that makes the biggest difference in bringing in more money. Now, last week we did a deep dive. Okay, folks, on
Sorry.
so last week we did a deep dive on limiting beliefs, and we wanted to expand on that to help you remove any obstacles that might be in your way of your highest purpose and success. Now, what is that? Well, the biggest thing is, and most people kind of lump these two together where they're actually separate things. That is selfishness and self-serving. So a lot of people go, they're the same thing. You can be self-serving without being selfish, and you can be selfish without necessarily being self-serving. So a quick little breakdown is selfishness is when you're taking actions or circumstances for your own benefit at the expense of someone else or at the detriment of someone else. Where self-serving is doing what you need to do to survive, what you need to do to get ahead. Now, a great example is the airplanes. Every airplane says this. What do they say, Amy?
They say put the oxygen mask on yourself first when that little oxygen thing drops down. And the reason is because you can't help another person if you can't breathe. So before you, and most people will tend to put on their kids first or something. They say, no, put on yourself first, because if you pass out, you can't help anybody else. But if you put on yourself, then you can easily help somebody else.
Exactly. So that's self-serving, but it's not being selfish. It's being I've got to make sure I don't hit the table. Oh, look, earthquake, earthquake. No, it's not that. I'm hitting the table. So self-serving is paying attention to what you need so you can be in benefit or service of more people. Now, when I was a lifeguard, one of the big things they said is don't drown. Seems pretty basic, yet a lot of lifeguards are so desperate trying to help other people and not hurt other people in saving them that they end up drowning. So my instructor actually said, Jamie, if you got to punch someone and knock them out, do that so you can bring you and them back to the beach, and then you can revive them once you get them on shore. So it may seem counterproductive to, as a lifeguard, actually knock someone else out, yet by knocking them out, then you control the situation and you're able to bring them on shore. So think of that in regards to your own finances, your own financial health, your mental health as well. You have to be self-serving. It's not being selfish, it's being self-serving. And if you want to help a lot of people, Mark Twain said it best. Mark Twain said, the best way to help poor people, don't be one of them. So that's what we're talking about, this emotional connection between the pushing away of making money because you think it's selfish. And you're like, oh, I'm a caring, loving person. I can't be selfish. It's not selfish. It's self-serving. You have to pay your rent. You have to buy food. You have to provide for your family. And bringing in money enables that.
And I like that analogy of drowning because, you know, if you are drowning in your finances, you're drowning through like by not having money or not being able to, you know, feed yourself, feed your family. It's the same thing. You've got to feed yourself first before you can save the world.
Yeah.
And a lot of healers that we work with, a lot of people, like I love their hearts. It's beautiful. They think they get into the business because they have a solution to a problem and that they want to solve and they want to help other people. But again, how effective are you at helping other people if you don't put the oxygen mask on yourself first?
Just now listening to you, I realized that it's the same thing. It's like you're either drowning or you're drowning in debt. So if people are drowning in debt, it's self-serving for you to get yourself out of that debt. So a lot of people logically and consciously want more money, yet they emotionally push away the opportunities because they feel guilty about receiving. And you can only give when you receive. If you don't receive, you can't give. There has to be a balance. And a great example of this is Let's just do the giving. Okay, everyone breathe out. Now breathe out. Now breathe out. Now breathe out. You have to inhale to exhale. If you're just giving, 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 and no receiving, there's an imbalance, and that imbalance creates chaos. And most people, most of the healers we help are in some form of chaos. And the biggest issue is they've put up a resistance to receiving. So how can we change that? First is to be aware of it. I'm going to give everyone permission to make more money. There you go. You got my permission. And if someone says anything against you making more money, send them to me. Let me explain. Let me explain to them where they may be misconstruing the situation.
And if you need me to write you a permission slip, just let me know. I'll even sign it.
Yeah, absolutely. Amy's got a permission slip that she gives at a lot of live events to typically women who have created an ancestral habit of not taking care of themselves by taking care of everyone else first. So if you need permission to take care of yourself, Amy's got a permission slip she can send you, and she'll sign it. And FYI, she just passed her NC2 exam.
NCI too.
NCI2. I see, I can't even say it properly. That's why she passed it, and I haven't yet.
You will.
So
you will
I want you to understand this. Money is energy. So we can't talk about improving your energy, your spiritual energy, without also talking about money, because money and energy is the same thing. Money is actually a representation of effort energy and time energy. Money will save you effort and time. So the quickest and biggest way to help everyone that you love and care about is to make more money.
Yeah, we had a mentor that said the best way to help broke people is not to be one of them.
Yep. He would quote Mark Twain all the time. And like every event we did, he would say that, and people would go, oh, he would go, do you want to know what the best way is to help people? And all these people are like, charity, this, charity. And they're like, don't be one of them. And they're like, okay. So yeah, big thing. There's a huge difference between self-serving and selfishness. Selfishness, we don't want to be that. Yet most of your actions are actually self-serving, and self-serving is supporting you to be a better person, to be able to help more people become better people or survive a situation. And the thing is, logically, you say someone, do you want more money? Now, right now, if I asked everyone if they want more money, yeah, your hands go up, want more money. That logically, it's a yes, yet emotionally, most people are pushing it away. So here's the thing. Emotions happen in the midbrain, just above the neocortex. Reptilian, we got the reptilian brain, we've got the mammalian brain, we've got the neocortex. So what's happening in the midbrain is our emotional state. So the emotions happen first. I don't want to be seen as selfish. And then the neocortex, sitting on top of that, the thinky brain, starts to reason it out and go, oh, well, I'm not being selfish. I won't do this. I won't do that. So we have to look at the emotional context and change that emotional context from I am being selfish to I am self-serving, and self-serving is great because as a serving myself, I can serve others. So that's the main switch up that we want you to think about, the big difference between self-serving and being selfish. And Amy's got a great little exercise to help you with your resourcefulness. This actually changes your way your brain actually works, observes, and sees potentials in your life.
And I love I love talking about the brain because we actually have three brains in our head. We've got the lizard brain, which is the base of our head. We've got, and that, go ahead.
Oh no, that's the lizard brain.
Oh,
reptilian brain. See, here we go.
That's what that was?
This is the
That
reptilian
wasn't
brain.
I want to speak, Amy?
No, this is
Okay.
because any moment you're going to talk about the mammalian and the midbrain, and I'm going to do this. See?
Okay.
It wraps around it.
Yeah, so it's actually your brain stem, and that's the lizard brain, and that's our automated responses. It's the things that we automatically do, and the things that we automatically like a breathing, or like uncontrolled responses like laughing, or even like if something came crashing through that wall, I would turn and look and I would have no control over that behavior. So
Our reactions, our automatic
our
reactions.
automatic reactions.
For example, the reptilian brain, you try and hold your breath until you die. No, you're going to pass out and then it'll take back over and you'll wake back up again.
If you even pass out, it might take over.
Yeah, you can't. You go, try it right now. You
difficult,
won't. You're
difficult to do.
I remember as a kid, hold my breath. And my parents were like, okay,
Okay.
off you go.
He still tries it. It still doesn't work. Anyway.
With my wife,
So,
I'm going to hold my breath until I'm allowed to play this PlayStation game. All right. Okay.
Anyway, and then we've got the mammalian brain, which is the midbrain. That's in the middle of the brain. That's where our emotions come from. And that's where almost all of our decisions come from, you guys. So the crazy part is we think our decisions come from the neocortex, which is the thinky brain, but this is the newest brain. It's the only brain that speaks language on the planet. I don't know about other planets, but on this planet, it's the only brain that speaks language on this planet, which is fascinating because we think that we're making decisions with the neocortex because we're really thinky and we think it out and we analyze it and we're like this. But the midbrain, the mammalian brain, has already made the decision.
Yeah, Eco just summed it up quite nicely. Decisions are made from an emotional place, then justified by logic.
Absolutely. And that's every decision. That's the things you buy, the people you date, everything.
The things you eat.
The things you eat, like all of it's. And sometimes, and like Jamie was saying earlier, that brain thinks much faster and reacts faster than the neocortex.
Yeah, I think as Cornell's study was showing that it's like 5 to 7 times faster we have an emotional response. And then, or like it's microseconds. It's super, super fast. But when you have the ability to span it out and slow it down, you can see the emotional reaction. And then 5 to 7 times microseconds later, here's the thinky brain having a reason why that action's taking place. So if we think about it even emotionally, and some people will say, what do you mean what I eat is an emotional decision? Well, at some point you decided, this makes me feel happy, or I want to look a certain way, or I want to have energy to play with my grandkids. It goes all the way back to emotion, or this saves me time, it's quick and easy. There's an emotional thought, and then there's a justified, well, the best thing to do to solve that emotional reason is to just cook this or eat this or go through a drive-through. I mean, there is a reason behind it. And a lot of the time we're looking at the surface action, which is from the neocortex thinky brain, rather than the emotional driver that's sitting beneath that.
And I look at the body as kind of a triangle. So you've got on the bottom of the triangle, you've got 3 sections. So you've got the physical down here. You've got your physical down here, which is your body. You've got your mental in the middle, or emotional in the middle. And then at the top, you've got your mindset or your spiritual, depending on what you want to call it. Now, if I just change things on the physical level, because again, this is about detoxing the mind, body, and spirit. This is mind, body, spirit. That's what this is, right? Or body, I'm sorry, it goes body, mind, spirit. That's what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
or mind, body, spirit.
Yeah.
Jump all over the place.
Jump all over the place. Anyway.
But there's 3 causes happening at the same time.
Right. So, but if you just change things on a physical level and you don't change them up here on the spiritual or mindset level at the top, emotional level at the top, it's not permanent. So if you change it up here first, it trickles down into the physical body and it changes down on that bottom level. Right. And we see this very evident all the time. People in the lottery, people win $25 million.
And God bless them. And if you want to adopt me, those winners, I am available for adoption.
Right. So that changed on the physical level, but they didn't change the mental up here or the mindset or the spiritual. They didn't change the mental or the spiritual. And so a year later, I think it's like 96% of people that win the lotto a year later are broke. And unfortunately, they're worse off than before they won because now they know what it feels like to have had money and they feel even worse. It's really horrible. Hi, welcome, Jenny.
Glad you're here. It's great to see you, Jenny. It's great to see you, Ika.
You look beautiful.
It's always nice to see that there's cameras on and there's people really there.
Yeah.
Although we appreciate. Oh,
Hi,
hey,
Andy.
Andy.
Excellent.
Yay.
Hey,
Oh,
Andy, meet Jenny.
Andy, Jenny, Andy, Eco.
Anyway, so this is really an important key of what we're talking about here. And the reason that we're going so much into the mind and because the body we can fix very quickly. We've got solutions. We've got great solutions where we can get in there and really detox the body. Oh, yay, Jenny, you got your order today. Yay. I'll talk to you later. So anyway, so that's that, starting it at the top and starting with changing our mindset and changing the way we think about things and changing the energy of it, that trickles down and makes permanent changes in the physical level in the body. Right. So, Tony Robbins says, because when we're really talking about money, we're talking about energy. And again, energy and money, we cannot talk about energy without talking about money.
Mm-hmm. They're intrinsically combined, money and energy. And if you have blocks in your energy, you're probably experiencing blocks in your money flow. If you're having blocks in your money flow, there's more than likely a very, very high chance that you have a block in your thoughts or your subconscious mindset around what money means to you, or what wealth, or what abundance, or what receiving means to you.
Right. And Eco says money is an exchange of energy, which means that money is energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you're exchanging it for energy, so it's also energy.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So Tony Robbins always says the issue is never a lack of time or a lack of money. The issue is always a lack of resourcefulness, being able to figure out a way to make it happen. Right. So if you have a kid that needs to be picked up from school every day at 3 p.m., come hell or high water, you're picking that kid up. You're not making a negotiation with it. You're not going, oh, maybe I'll negotiate with the school, and that 3 p.m. doesn't work for me, right? Not going to happen. It's not negotiable. So here's the other really cool thing. You get your not negotiables, right? So you get to keep your not negotiables, the things that you make not negotiable in your life. And I have a really great example of this. So years ago, Jamie and I were in a contest together, and 15,000 people had entered this contest. And I was like, and one of the prizes on it, it was a weight loss thing. One of the prizes on it was a 10-day, all expenses paid Caribbean cruise. And I said, Jamie, we haven't been on a vacation in years. You're winning this. This is not negotiable. You have the most weight to lose. You're winning it. It's not negotiable. And I kept saying those words, it's not negotiable. Now, I wasn't saying it's not negotiable because I thought I had some esoteric belief that you get your not negotiables. I didn't understand it at that time, but I understand it very well now.
Yet she was emotionally, from the midbrain, committed to that idea.
That it was not negotiable, that we were going on that cruise, right? Now, like I said, 15,000 people had entered to win. There was only 10 winners out of 15,000 people. Jamie didn't win the main thing. He did win runner up, but didn't include the cruise. And I was so bummed, but there was something in me that wasn't entirely bummed. A week later, I got a phone call from the company, and guess what? They chose 3 random people to win out of the 15,000 people. They chose 3 random draws. I was one of those random draws, and I got to bring a partner.
To go on the cruise.
To go on that cruise.
So she got her not negotiable.
I got my not negotiable. So my point about that is, what is in your life right now that you're letting slip through as negotiable, that should be not negotiable for you? It could be the way others treat you. It could be it could be money. It could be a job. It could be partnership. It could be anything. But what should be not negotiable in your life that you're letting slip through as negotiable? So that's the first thing. So as we were talking, oh, go ahead.
I'm just going to say, and why that's the first thing is when you bring awareness to a situation, you can change it. They say, if you can't measure it, you can't affect its outcome. So if you're in the same way, if you don't have awareness that you want something to be different, It will never be different. So being self-aware, being externally aware, and also saying, oh, hey, hang on a second. Let me break out the habit of my everyday and go, what do I really want? Why is that thing relevant? And don't place any judgment on it. It's like, oh, I don't deserve it, or that's out of my reach. Just actually sit and pause for a moment and go, what do I really want? What makes me happy? So you've got to start there.
Yep. So Tony Robbins says, like I said, the issue is not a lack of time or lack of money, it's a lack of resourcefulness, right? But most of us don't get resourceful until we hit some sort of rock bottom. It's that kind of oh crap moment, like, oh crap, I can't live like this anymore. I got to fix it. I got to change it. Right. But what if we could teach you to get resourceful now before you hit the oh crap moment?
Oh, yeah.
Right. What if we could teach you that? I've got a couple friends of mine out here in Vegas. And one of them, he'll call me up and he'll be like, hey, I'm down to $10 in my pocket. Amy, you got any work for me? That's the moment that he's the most uncomfortable, that he will actually ask for help. That's the moment he gets resourceful. I wouldn't care how much he had in his bank. He could call me up when he's got 50K and say, hey, I need some work, right? No biggie. I've got another friend of mine out here, and he doesn't get resourceful until he gets down to 50 million in his bank. And I know that because I've known his wife for like 30 some years, and she calls me up and she's like, oh my God, Steve is being such a bear. We're down to 50 million and he's freaking out. And I'm just like, hashtag rich person problems, and you are still buying sushi today because I cannot afford your sushi habit, girl.
Every time you bump the table,
okay.
it wiggles the thing.
All right, sorry.
To let you know.
Okay. So anyway, so the only difference between you guys and those two is the way we think about money. Because trust me when I tell you, it has nothing to do with intelligence. There are a lot of very rich, intelligent, unintelligent people out there. Quite a few. So, but a lot of
see some head nods. I think you folks know some of them.
You know who I'm talking about.
You know some of it.
So, it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with our relationship around money and our ability to get more resourceful. Yeah, various levels of broke feeling. It's the same though. Whether it's 50 million or $10, it's the same emotionally for those two people. It's no different. And it's the like he gets down to 50 million and he starts making more real estate deals, and he starts getting resourceful because he's like, it's the same feeling. I can't live like this. I'm going to die. I have $50 million in the bank.
That's his pressure point to make a change. Where the other friend, it's $10 in his bank account. That's where his pressure point is. They both hit a pressure point that emotionally makes them want to change, yet the numerical or the monetary value is greatly different between those 2 points, yet emotionally the pressure point's the same. They go, oh, I need to do something.
Right.
And they emotionally make that decision. I need to make a significant change here.
So there's a few things you can do to get more resourceful, and this is just going to open up your brain, and oh my gosh, it's amazing. So the first thing, the easiest way to get out of it and get changing is to shake your derriere and listen to your favorite music. It is impossible to be in a bad mood when you're shaking your butt to your favorite song. And Jenny will tell you that. She owns a company called Dance to Heal, and she's going to be all about that. It starts to move the energy in your body when you're stuck.
And a big thing that we're talking about here is the energy of your thoughts and the energy in your body and your spiritual or emotional energy states. And so a great way to modify that is to actually move your body. And when music you like is played, your brain waves all light up. And when you move your body in conjunction with that, you're actually doing a fantastic state change in your physiology and your chemistry and your emotional state.
Exactly. Jenny says now everyone thinks I make people shake their butt to music.
You do.
Yeah, you do. But it's so much more
but there's
than that.
so much more.
Much more. That's insane. I personally like shaking my butt. So I like, yeah. Anyway, I won't go into my my twerking escapade.
Yeah, let's not go into the 3 hour talk. Let's just narrow it down for these fine folks.
Let's move it on. Okay. The second thing that I love to do that helps really move energy, especially financially, is clean out a junk drawer. Find one junk drawer or commit to 10 minutes a day of
Or
cleaning
a,
up junk.
sorry, one drawer, or even just a space in your garage, or a space in your room, a space in the office. If the whole office is too messy, or the whole garage is where everything's been placed for the last 12 months, just decide, I'm just going to do this one corner or that one space. Cleaning up some mess emotionally and mentally for your brain is very healing. As well, it creates a vacuum of space, and the universe will fill that up with what you focus your goals to be.
Yep. So energetically it moves. When we're like, oh, this client hasn't paid me, or we're like, why isn't this money coming through? This is supposed to be come through. We're like, where do we need to clean? And we start looking for places in our house to clean up mess,
Clean up a small area,
clean up clutter. Yep.
and then do your dance. Boop, 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 boop,
Yep.
boop, boop.
Or you can clean up clutter and dance at the same time. Guess what? You can do both. That's the coolest part, right? Jenny says clutter's exhausting. Eco goes, Amy's twerking workshop's a different Zoom. We almost got water through Jamie's nose
That's
on that
funny.
one.
You nearly saw Amy get upset with me spitting water on her. Again, that's a different Zoom as well.
So, and then the third thing and the final thing is some homework you guys can do later.
Yes.
And this is fantastic, but you're going to basically just get out a piece of paper, like handwritten, use an actual pen or paper pencil, and handwrite 100 things that someone would give you $20 for. 100 things that someone would give you $20 for. This is going to move you through so much stuff so quickly. I had a gal that did all three of these things. She called me 2 days later and she's like, this lady was $47,000 in debt when I told her to do this. Okay, 47K in debt. Told her to do this. 3 days later, she called me up. She goes, I have $9,000 in cash. I can't believe this, right? Opening up the space, on those 100 things that you're going to write down, you don't have to actually do them. It's just an exercise in opening up your brain space. You'll come up with more ideas. We found out, guys, did you know that people buy toenails on Etsy? Toenail clippings on Etsy? I know, that was my look too.
There are a lot of different, let's use that word. There's a lot of different ways in which money can come to you. Right now, you're in the habit of thinking the only way you can make money is the way you have made money in the past. The only way you can create abundance or wealth is the way that you created or received a small amount of wealth and abundance in the past. You're doing this. You're trying to move forward while looking backwards the whole time. This exercise changes the way your brain is observing your environment and your opportunities. So on a piece of paper, do this tonight. Do this as soon as we finish here. Do it within the next 24 hours. Otherwise, you're going to just miss it off altogether.
People also buy pet hair on Etsy, FYI, to create projects and stuff.
So 100 ways in which someone will give you $20. Now, you're not going to do it. It's a thought exercise that you write down on paper, and you don't have to do it. It doesn't have to be legal. You're using your imagination. What happens is when you use your imagination and creativity this way, your brain says, hello, reticular activating system, that big bouncer that's in the middle of your brain there. It says, we've got new orders. Here's a new list that go on the VIP list of what we're going to allow into our consciousness. And on that list now is unique and interesting ways to make money, unique ways for you to become more wealthy, interesting ways, or undiscovered or
fun ways. But basically, when that opportunity comes knocking on that reticular activation system, the bouncer's not going to block it. For instance, we have a live event coming up before Jamie gets into healing, you guys. We have a live event coming up on January 4th. Jenny is going to be there. Andy's going to be there. And it is half off. It's going to be a full day on
Oh, yeah.
January 4th in Las Vegas. Use the code escape 50 and it drops the price to only 25 bucks. It's 25 bucks for a full day. You're going to get a full day of us with exercises, fully learning how to detoxify your mind, how to detoxify your body, and how to detoxify your spirit. And
Yeah,
it's going to be brilliant.
so it's, oh yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. At that full day, there's only so much we're able to do right here and right now in this short window of time. And in this short window of time, you're there, we're here, we're communicating. Yet when we all get together, there's a power in us all being together in the same room. The energy is electrifying. It's exciting. And you're going to have knowledge. And we've got certain exercises where you will gain an experience of a new understanding. So it's not just the knowledge, it's the experience of the new understanding. It's in that experience that you actually gain wisdom. So often they go, oh, knowledge is power. It's like knowledge is potential power. It's when that knowledge is applied, you receive experience. That experience transforms into wisdom. And that's where wisdom really helps you. So that event's going to be super cool. And remember, do this exercise tonight. 100 things of how someone will give you $20. Now, last time, not last time, but previously we were teaching this at an event within a couple of months. A couple of months ago, we were teaching this and there was a room full of, I don't know, 200, 300 people. And I said, I can even be paid $20 not to dance, but to stop dancing. I'm that weird when I dance. And someone goes, prove it. So I started dancing. And a guy at the back pulled out $100 and go, this is for me and 5 other people for the next 5 times you try to. It was hilarious. It was fun.
And he earned
I earned
$100.
$100 just by being a fool in front of everybody for a few seconds. Yet it's true. I have received money for my dancing, not so much because I'm good at it, because I'm weird and brave enough to do it. So don't limit yourself on whatever you think about, because prior to that, being paid to stop dancing was not on my list. Now I put it on my list. And my price has gone from what people will give me $20 to what people will give me $100 for. And I do it. I list out 100 things someone will give me $100 for, and instantly I start to get new clients. Stuff changes because I'm observing life differently.
Also, one of our multi-million dollar clients heard us do this from the front of the room,
Oh, yeah.
from the stage, and he went home that night and came back the next day and was so excited because he did that exercise specifically for his business.
Yeah.
And so he got really outside of the box thinking around his business and how he could earn how money could come in a different way for him.
Because what happens is you already have a construct in your brain based on your past experiences of how you get money. And the first thing that happens when you start writing that list, you write down all the things that you know are true. Then your brain goes, well, what else? You keep saying, well, what else? What else? What else? And so you're telling your brain that there are other ways that you can receive cash, you can receive money, you can receive finance, you can do something. And when your brain starts to think what else, and you start to become creative, that creativity is yours and it stays with you. It expands and it extends and it starts to play into your everyday life. And that new way of thinking brings in rewards. 100% of the people who have done this and committed to it have got results. 100%.
100%. Eco says, I recall someone having the idea for going to a public place where there are performers and having a sign that says $20 for me not to play this instrument, something that they didn't know how to play. Brilliant.
That is hilarious. That's great.
And people will do it. People think it's funny or think it's clever and they do it. Like if I see someone stand on the side with a street corner that has something a little bit more clever, I think the very first time I saw a guy say, I just want some beer, give me $1 for a beer. I think I gave him $1 because I was like, okay, that's clever. That's different. It's honest. I'll give you $1 for a beer, like, yeah. So yeah, you just don't know, guys. It's like thinking differently will change all of it.
I saw a sign once when I was in England. A person had a sign that says, £5 I'm trying to remember. It was really short. I can't remember, but it was basically £5, and I'll give you advice on not how to waste £5. And I'm like, all right, here goes. Just don't give that money away. Next. And I'm like, it was worth my laughter. I paid him £5 for that. I thought it was hilarious, and I paid it. But that's it. That tickled me. And there are things that you can do right now that there's 7 billion people almost on the planet. There are some people that will give you that $20 for whatever you're thinking about, no matter how weird it is. And remember, you don't have to do it. This is not how to actually go out and start asking people for $20. This is a brain exercise that will change your brain.
Exactly. Now, speaking of changing your brain, let's work on the spiritual, emotional side of that, the top of that pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
Who would like to do some who would like to remove some limiting beliefs or inherited beliefs with Jamie? Eco would? Jenny would?
Eco
Okay.
and Jenny would. Oh.
All right. Eco, we'll go with you first. Jenny, do you mind can we be streaming live? Are you okay to be streaming live? Because we can go off live too.
Yeah.
Okay. You're good?
We
Okay.
can go live.
We'll go Eco and then we'll go Jenny.
I didn't bring pen and paper with me. Maybe you can take.
Oh, I can go grab some.
Little drop note. Yeah, cool. Okay, so Eco. Let's just have a see. Oh, I just noticed before. It looks like we're on a split screen. I'm on the black screen and Amy was on the white screen, but it wasn't.
Oh, that's funny.
It almost does look like that.
It does.
I amused myself earlier with that. Now that she's gone, it's not as effective. We are in the same location. Sweet space right here. Look at all this. Oops. Just pulled the cord out of Amy's computer. I'll let her deal with that later. Okay, so Eco, do you want to work on money or finances?
Yes.
Or is there a specific issue that you'd like to get some energy clearing on?
I would say what's coming up for me is I've noticed a recent push-pull between a part of me that is looking for hopeful and abundance, and another part of me that is still getting stuck in a survival, looking at just what I have right now and feeling that lack and some panic and anxiety with the gap of between what I envisioned to be possible and where I think I'm still headed on this upward trajectory, in part thanks to this work, and just where I'm at in this physical 3D reality moment. Does that make sense?
That's all I needed. That's great. Very well articulated those different emotional places to be in. And you're not alone in that. And also, folks, a great thing is when you observe someone else going through this experience, you can also benefit from the experience as well yourself, because we have these mirror neurons in the brain that when it observes something and you're focused on it, you can actually experience it like a mirror. That's why they're called mirror neurons. It's like you move your hand in the mirror, and the mirror hand as well. You're going to experience that those change of state as well. So first of all, let me just ask you, Eco, do you want this healing process tonight?
Yes.
Fantastic. And muscle testing, I am. And anybody else out there, if you also want to benefit from any elements that come up here, just say, yes, I completely accept all the divine healing energies and look forward to a positive life. Yes, yes, yes. So let me see, based on what Eco was saying, survival versus abundance and everything else he explained, is there any limiting beliefs or trapped emotions that are associated with that? Yes, causing that situation. An inherited insecurity, which is a lack of confidence, self-conscious, shy, feeling unsafe from danger or ridicule. There's the bucket if you want to do the energy work. Amy's just going to do a little energy clearing on you at the same time as I delve into the subconscious and the DNA elements. So inherited insecurity from biological, non-biological. Okay, this is inherited insecurity that runs through your biological father's genetic line, originated in your great-grandmother. So 3 generations, great-grandmother in your father's lineage. And that's all we need to know. Now, we have a governing meridian that runs here in the center of the eyebrows, up over the top of the head and down the spinal column. This energetic meridian actually communicates to all the other energetic meridians and instantly communicates that information or change to the other meridians. So that's cool, Jenny. We appreciate you being here. Thanks for letting us know. And so, yeah, so now we're just going to run our hand over that meridian while we set the intention to remove the inherited trapped emotion of insecurity, removing this inherited trapped emotion of insecurity and all associated limiting beliefs from body, being, all aspects of time and space, past, present, future, all dimensions, all realities. Release, 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 release. So be it.
Also, really quickly, for those of you that are just watching, feel free to release that as well.
Yep.
Just all you got to do is just run that over your head at the same time as Jamie's saying release, because very often we have mirror neurons. Did you explain this already?
I did.
Okay. All right. So great. So make sure you guys are playing along because you guys can all get the benefit. So
yeah. So just state the intention that I choose to release. If for those that are observing, watching, and going along, just run the hand as like, I choose to release all inherited insecurity and limiting beliefs. So that, and we're specifically focused on ego right there. Very good. Has that been released? Yes. Are there any other trapped emotions, limiting beliefs connected to that? Yes. Hidden, column A, odd.
also anybody that's watching this, I'm also working on you as well right now.
Yeah. So everybody that's hanging out, you're getting the bonus of Amy doing a little energy work from where you're at. So hidden rejection, conception to 10, age 6. I'm not sure what life was like, but the rejection is an emotional state or limiting belief around feeling denied, refused, or rebuffed, discarded as useless or unimportant, cast out, unwanted, and forsaken. So this is happening around age 6. What was life like at age 6? And if a thought comes up of a situation, you're like, oh, I'm thinking about something right now, but you really don't want to share it, that's completely okay. You can just say, I'm thinking about something, and I can muscle test here as proxy for whether it is that situation or not. Or you can share. Either way's open.
Or so I think it was 6 was before the divorce, so I think it may have been either around when I felt like I wasn't part of the family when I saw my mom and dad cooing over my little sister, or could have been something else with me emotionally picking up on the discord of what was leading to the upcoming divorce.
I am. I was muscle testing as you were explaining that. And when you said your parents paying attention to your little sister, I got a very strong yes there.
All right.
So that's where, so in that situation, there was a feeling of rejection, and it's hidden rejections. So hidden trapped emotions are specifically connected to things that we either don't want to admit to ourselves, or because of the environment or the circumstances, we don't want to openly display or openly share. So that would be quite right. Like, oh, my parents loving my younger sister, I shouldn't be upset by that. And yet emotionally, you're like, oh, okay. So we can release that right now. So yeah, just run that hand. I'm releasing this hidden trapped emotion of rejection and all associated limiting beliefs. Releasing the hidden trapped emotion and all associated limiting beliefs. Release, 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 release from body, from being, from all aspects of time and space, past, present, future, all dimensions, all realities, release. So be it. Has that been released? Yes. Are there any other trapped emotions or limiting beliefs associated with that which we've released? Yes. Are there inherited? Inherited frustration. Originates in your biological father's line. 4 generations for a female. So this is your great grandmother. So great grandmother on your father's side. And it's the frustration is described as feeling exasperated, harassed, or vexed, feeling stuck or unable to progress, blocked, causing a change, achieving or an objective or a goal. So it's actually feeling exasperated and blocked. And this being an inherited means that this waveform or this frequency is in the DNA in every cell of the body, and it's just sitting there waiting for there to be a stimulus for it to express itself. So somebody that doesn't have this in the cells, stuff will happen and they'll just continue on. It won't be an issue. When someone does have something like this, something happens and it brings it to the surface. And so you're overcoming not just the circumstance that happened, but multiple layers, this and this. Yeah. So just an explanation for those people wondering what's going on or how this works. So this is inherited frustration. So it would feel normal to you because it's been there since the point of conception here in this body. So now we're just going to release that because it's not yours. It doesn't serve you to stay. So inherited frustration, ready to release? Yep. Okay, so let's just run that time with this intention. We're going to release the inherited frustration, release the inherited frustration, release the inherited frustration from body, being, all aspects of time and space, past, present, future, all dimensions, all realities, and all associated limiting beliefs. Release, 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 so be it. Has that been released? Yes. Very good. Yawning's great. Yawning's a great release of energy, letting that energy flow. And what I'm going to get you now is just give your body a little shake. There we go, a little shake. And take 3 deep breaths in. So we're going to take them in through the nose, exhale out through the mouth. As you breathe in, have the tip of your tongue just up on the roof of your mouth. So tongue is up and then out through the mouth. So just continue to do that. And as you inhale in the nose, just think in your mind, I receive unlimited abundance from the universe. As you exhale out the mouth, I release all limitations. So slowly inhale, I receive unlimited abundance from the universe. Exhale, I release all limitations. The inhale, I receive. And the exhale, I release. Just keep going, doing wonderful. Very good. Are there any other limiting beliefs or trapped emotions connected with that which was released? Yes. Okay. Is normal, hidden, inherited? Inherited, forlorn. So there's an inherited trapped emotion of forlorn, which is miserable and forsaken, sad and lonely by reason of abandonment, desolation, or emptiness, a lonely sort of hopelessness. So let's see where this originated. Biological mother, biological father, again, 5 or more, 4, 3, 2, male. Oh, this is 2 generations in the, is it passed down the male? It's passed down the male lineage, female, just the male lineage, this sense of forlorn. So this is your grandfather on your father's lineage. I don't know if you've had much experience with them and whether that resonates in any way, but we can just release it. Okay, so release this inherited trapped emotion of forlorn. Release this inherited emotion of forlorn from body, being, from all aspects of time and space, past, present, future, all dimensions, all realities. Release all the inherited trapped emotion of flaw and all associated limiting beliefs. So be it. Has that been released? Yes. Oh, yeah. Let's just see if there's any other trapped emotions or limiting beliefs connected with what we've already released. No. Is that it for tonight? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to get you to just do another shake of the body. And we've released 3 deep inherited trapped emotions in there, along with what else was being released. And sometimes that hangs kind of heavy. So we want to just let the body readjust to that experience. And so I'm getting that's it for tonight. So I'm going to get you to do those 3 deep breaths again. Slowly inhale through the nose and slowly exhale out the mouth. With the inhale, I receive unlimited abundance from the universe. With the exhale, I release all limitations. Very good. Got disconnect.
Awesome.
All right. So how are you feeling?
Feeling better. And there are some heavy feelings and ache in the heart that came up during part of that have seemed to lighten up now. The other thing that's coming up for me, and I don't know if this is something that would be able to be cleared tonight, in addition, is this idea and judgment that limiting belief that as I allow my energy to grow bigger and become more free in my more authentic self, that it drives people away. And even with the people that were here on the Zoom that I have noticed I have left, as I released these things and became more free and more authentic, I
I
noticed that
think
story popping up.
we were getting messages that people had to go, like
Yeah.
Jenny had an emergency, and so we had. Yeah, I wouldn't take it personal,
No.
but we can definitely.
I get logically it's nothing personal, and I also believe that everything that I experience is, in conjunction with where my thoughts and beliefs go and hold me, and it just triggered that story. Even though I get that these particular people on Zoom had legitimately, justifiable reasons why they left that had nothing to do personally with me.
Well, and emotions aren't logical, so that's okay.
Yeah.
Emotions aren't logical, but we can definitely work on some of it next week, and
I was just going to say, when you do that exercise of the 100 things that someone can give me $20 for, keep that thought in mind and see where that emotion pops up with different ideas you write down. It's like, oh, that idea won't work because people, and it'll start to highlight if there is a limiting or what the limiting belief is there. You'll start to see a collection of thoughts that go together. I was going to say something else. I can't think what it is, but yeah, it's definitely worth thinking. Oh, that's what I was going to say. You said the word assumption, which triggered in me instantly the book, The 4 Agreements. Have you seen the book or read the book, The 4 Agreements?
I know of it, and I think I went through it many years ago.
I listened to that book. I've got it on Audible, and I listen to it at least once a year. Usually when I'm driving somewhere, that I always self-teach myself or train myself by audiobooks when I'm driving. And The Alchemist and The 4 Agreements are 2 books that I always listen to at least once a year. They're great. Now, The 4 Agreements is don't make assumptions. Second agreement, don't take anything personally. And then the 3rd agreement is,
always do your best.
no, that's the 4th.
Be impeccable with your word.
Be impeccable with your word. Thank you, Amy. Well, it's about time I listened to that book again, I think. So yeah, don't make assumptions, because a lot of the time we make an assumption based on what we're observing, and then we take it personally. Yet neither need to happen at first. So they're the 2 things. Don't make assumptions. Don't take anything personally. Be impeccable with your word. And remember the 3rd agreement. We should add that. And then always do your best. So
yeah,
that's it. So thank you very much for tonight, Ika.
Yeah, glad you guys made it. And then if you guys are still watching, that event is coming up January 4th. We hope we see you there, Eco. It's going to be a really great event. And it is going to be, we have got some really fun surprises and it's going to be awesome. So January 4th, live in Las Vegas from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. One day. So
It would
Saturday.
be awesome to see you two in person again. I've missed you too.
We would love to see you.
It'd be great to see you again.
We got hugs waiting for you. Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a great night and we will see you guys next week. Same bat time, same bat hour.
Absolutely.
Bye.